Hello guys, welcome to United's Glory TV. A Woodward Masterclass is taking place. I'm telling you now. Now, I know Ed Woodward gets his critics, but right now we are closing in on the signing of Jadon Sancho, one of the top young talents in the world, 17 goals and 17 assists this year in the Bundesliga, despite only being 19, an England international, and we are getting rid of one of the biggest transfer flops in the Premier League's history, Alexis Sanchez. Now, it's a bit funny that Sancho and Sanchez sound very similar, but don't get it twisted. Jadon Sancho is a massive markup from the Alexis Sanchez, especially the Alexis Sanchez that we had. Even Jadon Sancho's potential outstrips Alexis Sanchez's prime ability. Obviously, we never got to see any of that prime ability because this guy literally died overnight. He literally died as soon as he put pen to paper on that Manchester United contract. Don't get me wrong, I don't actually blame us for bringing him in. At that time, he was one of the Premier League's best players. He was exciting to watch, and we needed that injection up front, but it just didn't turn out. He caused more problems than he actually solved. He insisted on playing on the left where Marcus Rashford and Anthony Martial were getting game time. They were playing well at that time and they were dropped, even though we desperately needed someone to play on that right. Jadon Sancho will play on that right. We can keep Marcus Rashford on the left and Anthony Martial's newfound form up front. We're going to have a terrifying front line with Jadon Sancho on that right-hand side, with Mason Greenwood emerging as well, being supplied by the likes of Bruno Fernandes and Paul Pogba. I'm looking forward to next season already. Now, obviously, the deal isn't over the line. There could be more stumbling blocks, but all reporters, all credible journalists are pretty much saying this deal will be done within the next week. And of course, Jadon Sancho wears the number 7 for Dortmund, and he's likely to take that shirt off of Alexis Sanchez, who is going out the door to Inter Milan. Now, I don't know what Antonio Conte is thinking, but for some reason, it's like he wants to manage Manchester United. He is taking on deadwood offers. He literally paid 70 plus million for Romelu Lukaku. Don't get me wrong, Romelu Lukaku is a good striker. He will get you 20 to 30 goals a season, as he has done in Serie A. And credit to him, but ultimately, he's just not a world-leading striker for me because he doesn't have the all-round attributes to be that kind of striker. We're seeing bits and pieces from Anthony Martial that, really shows us why we got rid of Lukaku in the first place. And we got a hell of a lot of money back for him. I know we spent more up front, but we got a good enough amount back for him. Now, Conte not only wants to take Lukaku, but Ashley Young as well. He is taking Alexis Sanchez and one of the biggest wage bills in the history of the Premier League offers. And by the way, guys, we stand to save 55 million over the next 2 years, saving on Alexis Sanchez's wages. Now, reports are saying that we do have to pay Alexis Sanchez a release clause. I don't know how much that is. By all means, let me know down in the comment section if you guys know. But ultimately, when you think about it, guys, it's not going to be 55 million for a start. And also, with Jadon Sancho, we're going to be paying a large figure up front, but it's not as much as Dortmund initially wanted. So it's probably going to be in the region of 60 to 70 million. And then it's going to be installments paying Dortmund over the next few years. Well, we are saving the kind of money that Dortmund want just on Alexis Sanchez's wages alone. So those installments are probably just going to be Alexis Sanchez's wages redistributed into the transfer fund for Jadon Sancho. We are supposedly letting Alexis Sanchez go for free. I don't care. Get rid of him. If you use his wages to fund Jadon Sancho's transfer, brilliant. That should leave enough money in the kitty to bring in a few more players and giving us some bargaining power for players like Jack Grealish. Obviously, Jadon Sancho is going to need to be on a wage himself, but it's not going to be Alexis Sanchez-like wages, as well as the fact that we have other deadwood to go that can cover Jadon Sancho's wages anyway. We are selling Chris Smalling, likely Marcus Rojo. We need to get rid of Phil Jones desperately. Juan Mata's probably come to his end of his time at Manchester United. There's also the potential sales of Jesse Lingard and possibly even Andreas Pereira, even though comments from Solskjaer recently don't look like that's going to happen. But it's time up for those players, if you ask me. But just the redistribution of money from one player, from a flop, to Jadon Sancho, when you think about it, obviously it wasn't necessarily Woodward's fault for getting Alexis Sanchez in. We all were excited about Alexis Sanchez coming in. But obviously the amount of wages that he gave to him was a huge problem. And obviously it did seem like Alexis Sanchez had in his contract that he had to play on the left if he played at all, which greatly harmed Manchester United's form at that point in time. So if that was in the contract, that was a bad move as well. But he's making up for it by getting rid of him and potentially using those funds to get Jadon Sancho in. And you've got to give it to Ed Woodward for that. It's a great move. And we are making moves now, guys. A good finish in the Premier League last year, considering what we started with, and potentially Europa League trophy. We can start moving and hopefully challenging for the Premier League title next year. Winning it, obviously that might be a bit of a stretch, but challenging is something we definitely need to look at next year. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Will Jadon Sancho help us compete for a Premier League title next year? Make sure you smash a like on the video if you think this is smart business by Manchester United. I certainly do. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more Manchester United content. If you love talking about Manchester United, if you love talking about the recent transfers and transfers upcoming, make sure you subscribed. Anyway, guys, talk to you soon.